Feet are shoulder width, and we're actually just going to do a few minutes of Zhan Zhuang practice standing there. So let's just talk very briefly about all the things you have to put into process before you do this. So you lift the hands up ahead of you. And if I were you, I would not stretch the hands forward a lot when you do this, because it actually puts it brings the socket, the shoulder, the head of the humerus out of the socket forward slightly if you do. If anything, you could lift up like this, and then you could actually extend. Or you can go sideways a little bit, but still don't try and push too far and come in. If you then want to extend a little bit without the socket going forwards like this, then please do. So that's just have a little practice at that first. So you're going to lift your hands up whichever way you like. Yeah, up to here. And then I'm going to just get my hands into the right position. So I've actually pushed my hands towards you, which you can't see. So my elbow is approximately level with the bottom of my scapula at the back here, roughly speaking. In other words, I'm not here. Yeah, and I'm not here. Although this is a possible position, by the way. So we lift up, and then I just expand towards you a little bit. When I expand towards you with my hands pushing towards my screen, what I feel is I feel as though my back is also pushing back towards an imaginary screen behind me, as though I've expanded front and backwards, front, forwards and backwards. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start from there. That's the hands in, roughly speaking, in position. I've opened the bones in the palms. Okay, so the bones in the palms feel like they've done that, but not massively. The fingers might also splay a tiny bit because the bones are opening. And I do the same in my feet. I feel like the feet are splaying on the floor. So I'm going to start again. Here we go. I lift up. Okay, neutral everything. Then I'm going to get into the position. Okay, so I'm pushing into my screen and behind me. I've got myself approximately into my right position. I've opened the bones in palms and feet. I'm now going to do a very gentle pelvic tilt. So I soften the front of the body, allow the pelvis to tuck under, and I'll let my knees now bend. Now, I haven't sat down massively. I haven't done a huge bend, and you don't have to. You don't have to really put yourself through the mill here. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now is I'm working in this position. I'm now thinking about my spine. First of all, I'm releasing the top of the spine. So it's the fingers going through each ear, touch. If you touch your fingers, push your fingers through each ear, not that you want to do that, but if you were to, your fingers would touch in the middle of your head just above the tip of your spine, the top end. Okay, and now I'm letting go the coccyx. So 5 little bones in the coccyx. I'm releasing the coccyx. I'm letting go. And now I'm releasing the buttocks and letting go. So I'm no longer clenching or gripping the buttocks up. And now what I'm doing is I'm scanning the body continuously, looking for where I'm going tense. Anywhere it might be starting to get uncomfortable. So classic places are tops of legs, maybe a little bit later with the tops of the legs, but definitely shoulders can be early on. So I'm looking for any signs of tension in the shoulders, top of shoulders, bicep muscle. Okay, am I overdoing? Am I really working too hard up there? Can I let go more? Can I let my armpits release? Deep inside my armpit. So if you think what's inside your armpit, if you went up with a torch or whatever, and you looked up inside the armpit, you'd be looking at the shoulder joint. So it's kind of a good way to think about what's going on inside that joint, to look upwards and feel upwards through the armpit into the joints. Ball and socket joint, remember? Now settle into this because we're here for a minute or two. Now, this is a practice session to see what's going on. So where are you tensing? So we've looked at the legs as well in the past, and what you want is a feeling of the legs pushing outwards, not collapsing inwards like that. There's a collapsed pair of legs. If I do this, it means my hips are now crushing together internally. So I need a feeling this will be too much. So now that will be going over the top the other ways. But I need a feeling of the elbow of the knees pushing left and right. That's pung. But I also need a feeling of the knees supporting something in the middle, like I've got a football or aerobics ball or something between my knees, and I don't want the aerobics ball to drop. So we've got both directions. Not only are we pushing outwards, but we're also holding inwards. Back on the spine again. I'm just double checking my spine. So top of the spine, yeah, between the ears there. Yeah, okay, relax that. And now the bottom. And then I just think of those cables of muscles which run all the way down either side of my spine, left and right, and I just let them undo. So again, we're bungee jumping. It's the same idea. We're static, but there's a feeling of what would it feel like were your spine really able to undo and elongate? It would feel great. Everything could really separate and soften inside there. Just become a little bit conscious now of where your weight is on your feet. You want the weight in the middle of your foot. Now, think about the sole of your foot. You've got 3 points on your sole of your foot. The ball in front of the big toe, the ball in front of the little toe, and then the heel. And the feet consist of 2 arches. We have a front arch and we have an arch from front to back. So we all know, obviously, about the arch from front to back because it's your instep. It's where the rounded arch of the foot is on the inside of the foot. But there is another arch which is from ball in front of big toe to ball in front of little toe, and it's not lifted exactly, but the pressure is more on those 2 points, so that there is an arch in the middle. Okay, so I've just become conscious of the fact that I'm doing a lot of talking here, and therefore I wasn't focusing on releasing my arms. So I've noticed I'm getting a little bit tensed just on the shoulder joint area down towards the elbow, the upper arm. So now I've got to work on relaxing that. And I feel as though my arms are really heavy, as though the elbows weigh a ton, they're resting on a pair of scales, and I'm actually triggering the scales. I'm not pushing down physically, I'm just letting the weight of my own arms do all the work. Okay, so that's now beginning to release it for me. May not work for you, but it's, everyone to their own method. What are you doing with your pelvis? Have you tightened the bum muscles up? Release them. What about the back of your neck? What's going on there? And if we're being very pedantic, what are you doing with your face? The sinuses, behind your eyes, above your eyes, behind the nose, behind the cheeks. Is it all soft in there? What about your jaw? Have you released it? And just hang the jaw. So your teeth are together, but your jaw hangs. So just relax it. Okay, we're moving to the 5th position. This is position 2. Very, very slowly lower your arms. And I mean really, really slowly. Okay, so now the arms are going to be hanging down at about 45 degrees ahead of you. Much easier. Well, on the arms. Maybe it doesn't help the legs. So in this position, much easier to relax your shoulders. So be very conscious of where the head of the humerus is in your shoulder joint. So upper arm bone, the head of that as a ball, it's sitting in the shoulder joint, in the socket, which is a rounded cupped socket, and you just want it to rest in there. You don't want to pull it forwards. If you do, you're going to get more tension in the front of the shoulders and possibly the chest as well. Would you relax your breastbone? Now, your breathing can be any way you like. You can just breathe abdominally, you can do reverse breathing. I would suggest abdominally for the moment at least, because abdominally it's a more relaxed type of breathing. It's not so focused and you're not, although it's a very good way of generating energy, when you're just learning this type of exercise, you want to make things as easy as you possibly can because it's hard enough as it is. So far you've done over 7 minutes. Now, bones in your palms, think about them. Bones in your feet, think about them. Feel like they're expanding, widening. Have you tensed the buttocks? Shoulder blades, what's happening there? Any tension? And between the shoulder blades, that bit of your spine there. So between the shoulder blades, round about thoracic 3, we have an acupuncture point, which translates as body's pillar. In other words, it's pretty crucial if the pillar is your spine, it's fairly crucial to how you hold your spine, that bit. So you need to rest that, relax it. We're trying to remove tension from that area of the body as well, everywhere, frankly. And very, very slowly lower your arms, straighten your legs, stand up. Yeah. And then to finish off, you can just put the backs of your hands on your kidneys and you just lift the leg up, bend your knee, and then just put it down again. And you change and do the same again. And you just do this a few times. Stretch out your quads a bit on the top of the leg there. Just allow them to lengthen again. Good. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Zhan Zhuang exercise, and we'll just carry on looking at various aspects of it over the next few weeks. And eventually we'll get to doing various positions in it as well, different positions, because in fact, every Tai Chi move can be used as a Zhan Zhuang position, whether it's, play the lute, you could do that. You could even do single whip and just use this as a Zhan Zhuang position. So there's lots and lots of potential here. And for building your energy, I don't know if you found that your hands are buzzing a little bit, tingling, maybe hot. Some people, their hands actually sweat. If you look at your hands when you've been doing this, you actually get little beads of sweat on there. So yeah, that stops incidentally after a while. Yeah. So your body kind of clears itself out and it does stuff. So very good way for correcting the body, correcting problems within your body. In fact, one of the best ways I know.